Hello, my name is Keith Thompson. I'm president of Asheville Civitan Club this year. I'd like to invite each and every one of you to join us for the upcoming television series, Spirit of Civitan TV. It's going to be on URTV, and we're going to be covering some of the important issues affecting our community. We're going to be meeting some of the civic leaders who are making a difference every day in the lives of our community, and making things better for our children and grandchildren, making this a better place in which to live. So we hope you will be able to join us and watch our series as it comes forward. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. The January 13th, 2009 meeting of Civitan is called to order. Asheville Civitan Club members, I'm taking this opportunity to talk to those watching us on URTV Cable 20 in Asheville, and those who have received a link to this web video from an email you received from me or a friend. Asheville Civitan Club, in its 88th year, is a service organization that provides help to our children of all ages, and especially those with disabilities. Our donation to the Asheville Civitan Foundation provides scholarships to Buncombe County High School seniors. Each year, we interview applicants from each high school and award scholarships to students chosen by our selection team. In March, we will award those scholarships. Watch for the webcast of this very important program. Asheville Civitan Club also awards to high school students from each school a Good Citizenship Award. This is awarded to students sponsored by teachers and counselors. Watch for this webcast in May. Our scholarship and Good Citizenship programs are also broadcast on Asheville Educational Television Cable 16. We also support the Irene Wortham Center for Children and Adults with Developmental Disabilities that are helped to reach their full potential. PEP serves students with moderate mental disabilities as well as students with severe and profound disabilities, kids voting, and other programs to support children. Each week we present programs of interest to the community. If you would like to attend our meeting or hear community leaders like Mayor Terry Bellamy, call the number on your screen, call a member, or visit a website shown in the credits of this program. Now I would like to ask Judd Porter to introduce today's speaker.
Our guest today, Terry Bellamy.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here with you all, and I would like to say, and I've said this before publicly, and I'll continue to say this every time I have an opportunity, thank you for your investment in me. I was one of your recipients. I think it was 1989 scholarships, and so I just want to say that I think it was a good investment. It helped pave the way for me to be able to attend the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. So I just want to say thank you again for what you do in our community and how you do help our children. And I know I have a limited time, and so I won't stand before you too long, and I need to leave time for questions and answers. I know this is one group where you're not shy, and you will ask questions, and so if you would just join with me. And I understand that you had the city manager here not too long ago, and so I won't go over much of the information he has already provided. He did talk about the fact that the City of Asheville's council adopt on an annual basis a strategic plan. He highlighted the fact that we have 4 service areas that we call our core: green, sustainable, safe, and affordable. And so in our retreat that we just recently had, we reaffirmed those commitments to that and also added a 5th one, fiscal responsibility. And so I'm going to talk a lot about downtown. And the reason I'm doing so is because how many of you know if I give you $1 of tax, what comes from downtown? If I am a resident of West Asheville and I pay $1 in taxes, how does that compare to downtown? Would that be, would you guess, $10 leverage? Would you say $20, $25? What do you think? It's closer to 25, and it's growing. And so I want to talk about the delicate balance of our downtown. Let's go over just some basic statistics. Our population is about 75,000 on any given night. But during the day, it grows to about 150,000 people. So we basically double in population during our daytime because we have a lot of people who may go to the health system, who are the various centers we have here besides Mission, but the support doctors as well. We may have people who come into the city of Asheville to work or to shop and then leave in the evening. We have 20% minority population that's including Hispanic, African American, and Moldovan and Ukrainian. We have a growing Moldovan and Ukrainian population in this community. We are the hub for Western North Carolina. As mayor, I like to say we're the capital of Western North Carolina. When you think about one of the things I'm in a little debate over staff with, we have a three-legged economy that's recognized by the Chamber of Commerce, and they are cultural and arts, tourism, natural beauty, and retirement. And that retirement also includes medical. And right above that goes a little bit more detail about the overall look at that is medicine, commerce, and culture. But I believe there's a fourth leg in our economy that's continuing to grow, and that's the nonprofit sector. And the significance of the nonprofit sector, I just asked staff this past weekend at a retreat, what would happen if Asheville Greenworks, which was formerly Quality Forward, closed their doors? I think our community will look a whole lot different than it does today. So we are in an economic downturn as a national economy, and Asheville is no different. We've had some issues. However, I do want to say in 2008, we had 145 hotel rooms reviewed by staff, 204 residential units reviewed, as well as approximately 23,000 square feet of new retail space in our downtown. I had staff include one of the best pictures that I took these pictures a couple of weeks ago in downtown, and this is Sensibilities. And this is what adds the unique texture of Asheville. This is the storefront window, and I just think it was just awesome that they just did so much to make sure that it was appealing to the eye of individuals who walk by the street. And I invite you to go to Sensibilities and enjoy the day spa that they have to offer. What are we doing in downtown to keep it clean? We put in a street division that's looking at us. Got a new street flusher to make it cleaner. One of the things that most people don't know, that one of the fastest growing neighborhoods in the city is our downtown. We're having to deal with things in our downtown we've not had to deal with before. My benchmark is when I was first elected mayor, 2005. In 2005, we were only doing street sweeping 3 nights a week. Today, we're doing it 4 nights a week, and we're making sure that we're doing a little bit more vacuuming. We often hear the comment about people saying, and I'll talk about this a little later, we need more trash cans in downtown. That's great, but some of the business owners are saying we definitely need it, but not in front of my store, in front of someone else's, or not in front of my development in front of someone else's. So we have to look at that delicate balance of making sure that there are places that we can have more trash cans. And like I talked about the fact that just 3 years ago, we were picking up trash 3 days a week. Now we're doing it 7 days a week and providing that service because there's such a growing demand in downtown Asheville. 3 years ago, we had 110 trash cans in downtown Asheville. Today, we have 138. I was at the Downtown Association's meeting last week, and we talked about the fact that the cost of a trash can is quite exorbitant for the city of Asheville. And the thing about it is, it has to last many years. And so we do make an investment, and it's a large investment. However, we do because we have to think about sustainability. When we think about police in downtown Asheville, we are increasing the amount of service and as well as the quality of service. It used to be, and I won't go into the statistics here, but it used to be that we had police officers who would ride around downtown just in cars. That would be the old model. Now we have even our chief on a Segway. We have Segways, we have police officers who are walking, we have police officers who are on bikes. And so we're really trying to address the concerns that people have that we need to see our police officers and be visible. City Council just asked staff to look at a survey, and they had a survey compiled. And when it came back, what we found is 94% of the people who responded to the survey feel safe in their residential neighborhood. But it dropped considerably when they talk about downtown, especially after dark. And so we're really looking at with great detail on how do we increase that so people can feel more safe. One thing that we had put in place since 2005 is we put in a neighborhood coordinator to not only help with downtown, but there's some near downtown neighborhoods who are seeing some of the impact of illegal drugs, prostitution, things of that nature. And one of those neighborhoods was the South French Broad neighborhood. And so council put in place a neighborhood coordinator, and we have one of the best community organizers I could think of. Her name is Marcia Strickford. And she takes the time to actually sit down with residents and talk about some of the concerns that they have. And as a result, we're seeing some turnarounds. The South Grove Street and the South French Broad neighborhood they've actually formed a neighborhood group. They're working with not only the police officers, but they're learning who they are in the neighborhoods, and they've helped take back their streets. And so one of the things that the police officers have done, and you've all seen this, is the stings, where they've not only arrested the prostitutes, but the Johns as well, and actually put them on the news. And that has dramatically impacted the prostitution in that neighborhood. And some people don't realize they also send postcards to the tag owners to let them know that their car was seen in a high crime area or was part of an arrest. So it's not just a notification to the community, but it's also to let the families know that that's happening. And as a result, we've seen some positive changes. And so I do want to let you know that we have an e-newsletter. How many of you subscribe? I invite you, please send me an email and I'll get you on our list. We send out an e-newsletter and it's published 11 times. I think this year we're going to try to increase that. But the goal is to let people know what's happening in the neighborhoods. And then we also have an e-newsletter for the overall city, to let you know what's happening with city government, when water lines are going to be installed, things of that nature. And for most people, they don't realize that Asheville has already organized within our city limits over 50 neighborhood associations. And so Ms. Strickford is reaching out to those neighborhood associations to let them know we're here for you and we're here to support you. And if there's a neighborhood who would like to form a neighborhood organization, she's there for them as well. And so if you would like to have a neighborhood organization formed where you live, you can contact the mayor's office and we'll get Ms. Strickford to return your call. A big issue impacting Asheville and our downtown is the water bond project. City Council approved $40 million of investment in our water department. It's the largest that had been done in many, many, many years. And the thing about that is, with that investment, we've had to do some installations at a time that people felt like, I wish it wasn't happening now, but if we're going to continue to grow as a city, we have to deal with the infrastructure that we have. And one thing I'm really proud of the fact is you can find out where the projects are occurring anytime you like by going to ashevillennc.gov/water. And on that site, you'll be able to see what project is coming up, how much does it cost, and when it will start. And I think it's important to provide that information so it can be as transparent as possible. Some of the summaries about downtown that make sure that you all know. The city of Asheville has used taxpayer dollars, I think, in a beneficial way, and we've used over $207,000, $88,000 for a night crew who addresses trash cans, the benches cleaning up, graffiti removal. We did $15,000 for the downtown Christmas lighting program, $95,000 for the special sanitation crew. And also, just so you know, that we put in 2 new staff members just to do for a truck and a pressure washer service, so that every night we're cleaning up our sidewalks in different places and the trash cans to make sure things are cleaner for the next day. One of the things I want to make sure that I talked about so that we understand where we are as a city. City Council just had our retreat, and we are facing this fiscal year that we're currently in that ends June 30th, a $1 million shortfall in our budget. Staff has already secured at least $300,000 that we found that Progress Energy and staff had a different of views of how much they were supposed to pay, and we got that settled, and so we saw that they're going to pay an additional $300,000, so it takes that gap down to $700,000. We are also looking at a piece of property where we had to have it demolished and condemned because the individual was not taken care of, and that's a potential another $300,000 that we hope to receive by June 30th, so we could take that down a little bit more. But we're also looking at tightening our belt. We're looking at staff positions, and so we're offering different packages for individuals who've been with the organization 25 to 30 years. And so staff has put together some meetings to see the level of interest for individuals, and so we're hoping that that fiscal change will also carry over for next fiscal year. We're looking at every single item in our budget to say, what can we do to decrease costs? Council as a whole, I don't know how many of you watch council meetings on a regular basis. You could probably count on a couple of hands how many times we have a 7-0 vote, but I can proudly say that we had a unanimous decision that we would not raise taxes to get our way out of this situation. And so we're looking at deferred maintenance, looking at our capital improvement program to ensure that the things that need to be fixed, we get those fixed first, but the things that can be delayed, to delay those. And so the message that we're sending to staff is we want to work with you to look at the cuts that we are proposing and you are proposing and see how we can come together to address the concerns with the city going forward. Going forward at the council retreat, we did affirm the fact that we need to continue to work with the county to not only address the water issue, but other issues impacting our community. How do we make sure that we have a good, we do a lot of police officers do quite a bit of arrest to make sure that the individuals who are arrested get a speedy trial so that we don't see them get arrested at 9 o'clock and see them back on the street at 5 o'clock. And so how do we make sure that that does not occur? How do we make sure that the individuals who are supposed to serve time can actually do that? And so we're going to have to continue to work with the county on that. We need to make sure that we're working with other mayors. For the first time last year, all the mayors in Buncombe County got together and talked about some issues impacting our communities. And we did so without a lot of fanfare, but we did so just to focus on the issues that we have in common and how we began to work together. And so I'm excited about that. There was only one mayor who could not make it, and it was due to her schedule. We're going to look at our relationship with our state and federal legislators. I am in support of looking for federal stimulus package money. And if there's money flowing, I believe Asheville should be a recipient of those funds. And so that's important for them to know what's on our agenda and what we need funded. It's important also to look for partnerships with other community partners, including Land and Sky Regional Council, Asheville Greenworks, and many others. My goal in putting this picture up is to highlight, if you look at the green canopy that we have in the spring and it lasts into the fall, it's wonderful, but there's some fine tuning that we have to do. We have to make sure that as our street trees, as the leaves go away, and they do, that when you look at the base of the tree, that you have nice new mulch. You got to make sure that the recycling receptacles, if they're missed, that they have an opportunity for them to be picked back up. Or do we have enough, or is it picked up enough? Make sure that when graffiti's up there, that it's removed in a timely manner. And we have to address those delicate issues, because it's not enough for city council to push for businesses to remove it. We have to do it off of our property in a timely manner. We have to become creative in our solutions. Right here on the left side at the bottom of the screen, you see a nice sculpture that was placed in front of malaprops, and it was as a result of people hanging out in front of malaprops. And malaprops is a long-standing business in downtown Asheville, but they were impaired by the ability to do even better because so many people were sitting on a corner begging for money and things of that nature, but we put that piece of property and it's made a difference. There was some controversy in the newspaper about us removing benches that were in front of the library, but they needed to be removed. One of the issues that occurred was on a Saturday, and it happened twice, 2 individuals who are homeless were in an altercation, and an innocent bystander in one incident said that they wanted to be a part of breaking it up, and that person ended up in the hospital. We can't allow that type of behavior in our downtown. Some of the solutions that the Downtown Association has come up with and City Council has supported is the Spare Change for Real Change program. And so those boxes are located throughout downtown, and those are some of the nonprofits who have benefit from those programs. On the flip side of that, the Vice Mayor and I have met with every homeless service provider in our city and our county to talk about the level of accountability needs to increase. If City Council is increasing the amount of funding that we're providing to nonprofits in order to ensure that our homeless have services, it's important that the service providers give that same pushback to their clients, and it's working. Homeward Bound, one of the things that they've done in response is they have their staff as well as their clients go around picking up litter in the immediate service area. Also, the rescue ministry, they put in rules in place. It used to be when you come in the western corridor of the city, you would have individuals lined up all over the area ready for lunch. They've changed the rules, and they can no longer do that. And so they put in place rules for their clients. They also have clients who go clean up the parks and clean up trash around the different streets. So there's some accountability on both sides of the table. I thought I would end with the fact that as mayor, I've not had to go out and speak to different cities. I've had a lot of cities come to talk to me about the city of Asheville. I had chamber representatives from Sarasota, Florida. I've had individuals from Greenville, South Carolina. Spoke with people from Johnson City, Tennessee, all the way from Russia, all the way from Japan, talking about the city of Asheville. They want to talk about our crown jewels, our downtown, Biltmore Estate, Biltmore Village, Grove Park Inn, the Grove Arcade, and City Hall. One of the things that these towns are doing as they come here and learn the best practices, they're taking them back to their communities and they're actually implementing them. It's imperative that as a community we begin to clean up our crown jewels, because if not, people will begin to say, I've come to Asheville, I've done that before, and it wasn't what I expected. And I don't want that to happen. And so as a community, we're going to have to look at the delicate balance and look at the cleanliness, look at the accountability factor, look at how we fund the capital improvement needs for our community, and begin to address them creatively in order to maintain that status of being a top 25 destination in this country. Thank you so very much, and I'm ready to answer your questions. And when you state your question, I'll just repeat it. Oh, you have a microphone. I'll have to.
My name is Vince Angelico, and I wanted to thank you for coming here today. I felt very secure because I noticed as I drove up there was Dan's tow truck on the other side, and hearing all the problems with the tow trucks that you've got in town, I felt I can count on you to help me out today, just in case. So thank you for that. But also I wanted to really make sure I thank you for your heroic no vote on the vehicle mileage tax.
Oh, thank you.
And very proud of you for doing that and standing up for people of Western North Carolina. Basically, where do you think we stand with that vehicle mileage tax, and do you think it'll pass through the legislature? That's my question.
FYI, there are two other states who had that in consideration. I think they are looking at that very closely. So there's 2 states out of 50. So I think it's a slow track to it happening unless we start talking to our legislators now. The committee has already turned the report over to our state legislators. So I think this is the time that you send your letters and your emails to our representatives and our senators to let them know that we don't want it. And this is the issue that is at hand for Western North Carolina specifically. I won't even use Buncombe County. I'll go over to Swain County. In Swain County, a lot of it's national forest. So a lot of people have to travel outside their county just to have a job, not because they want to, because they live in suburbia, but because it's just the reality. And so are we going to penalize them because they have to leave their county to find a job? I think that's wrong. It happens in Buncombe County as well. We have a lot of people who live outside the city limits who may have to travel into the city limits. We have a lot of home health aides who, because of the nature of their work, of course they get reimbursed, I think, for mileage, but we're going to tax them. So there's a lot of things that need to be worked on to make sure that if you're going to do something like that, how is it equitable? So I would say, please, please, if you believe that it's not something that our state government should look at now or ever, you can't just say thank you to me, but I appreciate that. You have to respond by following up with our legislators to let them know, because they're the ones who vote on it.
Mayor Bellamy, you have preside over many worthwhile things in the city, and one of which is to appoint members of the Asheville City School Board, who then become independent and responsible for their own budget. Other things that are very important that the city does do to help the schools and the success of students, particularly when they're out of school, through parks and recreation and community centers. Can you speak some about plans for being able to maintain that as a priority in difficult budget times? And can you speak a little bit about the $2 million in fundraising that and public monies that were committed to building, renovating the W.C. Reed Center,
and the likelihood of that being able to go ahead so that those programs continue to grow and expand, how they serve the students very well in being in positive activities and with positive adults and good role models.
Okay, I'm happy to do that. And yesterday we actually rededicated the Burton Street Community Center, and we refurbished that using CBDG funding as well as some capital improvement dollars and federal weed and seed funding. And we did so because it was important that that center be in the community, because we want to make the statement to the residents of Burton Street that they're important. Same thing with Reed Center. The thing about Reed Center is the community did raise over $2 million for the Reed Center. And today's agenda addresses the fact that staff is recommending to council that we use the money that has already been raised to go ahead and build a new center down the street from the center using those dollars, and keep it on track and on budget, and make sure that they really watch the bottom line to ensure that it happens that way, because the money's already there. The city of Asheville made a commitment for after-school services even during a budget crisis. That was one area we said we did not want to cut, because we knew how important it is for parents. That parents who work want to make sure that while they're working, their students have a safe place to recreate, to keep them away from activities that happen. A lot of them happen between 3 and 6. And the city of Asheville made that commitment, and will continue to make that commitment and keeping that a priority. I do also want to announce today, okay, this comes on after city council meeting. Okay, just don't want to beat AT&T to the punch. Last year, we had one of the biggest and important nonprofit organizations in our community close their doors, and that was the Asheville Buncombe Asheville Buncombe Education Coalition. And when they did so, that impacted tutoring and mentoring. Tutoring was extremely important to the success of our students in Asheville and Buncombe County. One of the things to respond to that, USEA came up with the idea, some of the professors over there, how to teach individuals how to teach math, to help the tutors to be able to help the school system. I got it from a school board member that there are some students who even take AP courses who in math who still have to go to remedial math when they go to college, because they don't quite get the concept or can't completely do it all. Not all of them, so I just want to, Mr. Porter, not all of them, for the teachers who are watching it, but there are some students. And what this program is going to do, what they've created, is to help their students as well as volunteers to be able to teach math. And so one of the things that they have also said is if they had money, they could actually replicate this beyond just their students, but other volunteers, other community members, so that others in our community could actually have the support that they needed when it comes to math. They didn't have the funding. They made a presentation to AT&T because they were writing a big grant and the money hadn't come through just yet. I talked to LaVoy Spooner from AT&T and asked them for some money. I don't mind asking. And so they said, well, how much do you need? And I think USDA said about $25,000. Today we're going to have the announcement that they're going to give them the $25,000 that they need to make this program work. Because the goal is to pay their students. The goal is to pay their students who can then go out and either pay tutors or they can themselves do the tutoring. And I think that's important. And another key component about this, they've also sold this to Mission to help with their employees. Because if they want employees who want to advance their careers, this is an opportunity just to give them a little on-the-job training. So they're trying to make that sell to Mission as well. But the goal is to help with math and science, but more importantly for this program is to help with math. And I'm happy to be able to make that announcement will happen today at City Council.
Thank you for the report on the state of the city, Terry. I would like to remind those that have watched this program and would like to support the work of Civitan and support the scholarship fund. Contributions to the Asheville Civitan Foundation are tax deductible. Call the number on your screen, call a member, or visit a website shown in the credits of this program. Thank you. See you next week. Asheville City School Board of Education Vice Chair, Al Whitesides, will talk to us about the state of Asheville schools. We are adjourned.